Eastern State Penitentiary, a name that sends chills down your spine. It stands in Philadelphia, a shadow of its former self. Built in 1829, this prison was supposed to be different. Reform, not punishment, was the goal. The creators wanted to inspire penitence in the hearts of criminals. They believed solitude was the key. Little did they know they were creating a breeding ground for something far more sinister. Something that continues to haunt these walls long after the last inmate left. This is a place where history and horror collide. Imagine being completely alone. No human contact, just you and your thoughts, day in and day out. This was the reality for inmates at Eastern State. The separate system, they called it, revolutionary, humane. But the reality was far more disturbing. Prisoners lived in solitary confinement. They ate, slept, and worked in their cells. The silence was deafening, the isolation unbearable. Many inmates descended into madness. Their minds, unable to cope with the solitude, fractured. The very system designed to reform them drove them to the brink. Eastern State Penitentiary was a marvel of its time. Its design, inspired by castles and cathedrals, was meant to inspire awe. But behind those imposing walls, darkness festered. The prison's architecture played a key role in the separate system. Thick walls prevented communication. Individual exercise yards offered only a sliver of sky. Over the years, Eastern State housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including the infamous Al Capone. Legend has it that Capone's lavish cell, furnished with rugs and a gramophone, offered him little comfort. He claimed to be haunted by the ghost of James Clark, a victim of the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Even surrounded by luxury, Capone couldn't escape the darkness that permeated Eastern State. Section 4, From Prison to Museum, A Transformation. In 1971, Eastern State Penitentiary closed its doors, ending an era of incarceration that spanned over a century. The experiment in solitary confinement, which had been a cornerstone of its operation, was over. But the story of this place was far from finished. The walls held secrets and stories that refused to be silenced. Left to decay, the prison became an eerie shell of its former self, a haunting reminder of its grim past. Nature crept in, reclaiming the space, as vines and vegetation slowly overtook the once formidable structure. Yet beneath the crumbling walls and rusted bars, something remained. The essence of the lives that had passed through its gates lingered. Today, Eastern State is a museum, a place where history is preserved and the past is brought to life. A chilling reminder of a flawed system and the human cost of isolation, it stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Visitors come to learn about its history, to understand the complexities of the penal system, to walk the same halls as gangsters and murderers, and to feel the weight of the past. But many are drawn by something else, something more sinister, the whispers of the supernatural. They come seeking the truth behind the legends, the stories of hauntings and ghostly apparitions that have become part of its lore. The truth about the ghosts of Eastern State Penitentiary and the echoes of the past that still resonate within its walls. Section 5. Whispers from the Past, Paranormal Activity at Eastern State. Eastern State Penitentiary is a hotbed of paranormal activity. This historic prison, once home to some of the most notorious criminals, now stands as a monument to the past and a beacon for the supernatural. For decades, visitors and staff have reported unexplainable occurrences, cold spots that chill to the bone, disembodied voices echoing through the empty halls, shadowy figures lurking in the cell blocks, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. Cell block 4 is particularly unsettling. The air feels heavier here, as if the walls themselves are watching. People report feeling an overwhelming sense of negativity, a palpable darkness that clings to the air. It's as if the despair of the inmates has seeped into the very stones. Some have even claimed to be touched by unseen hands, their names whispered in the darkness. These encounters leave a lasting impression, a haunting memory that lingers long after they've left. And then there's cell block 12. This area is infamous for its ghostly laughter. This is where the laughter echoes, Chilling, disembodied laughter that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. Chilling, disembodied laughter that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. It's a sound that sends shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical visitors. It's a sound that sends shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical visitors. The ghosts of Eastern State are restless. The ghosts of Eastern State are restless. Trapped between worlds, they roam the halls, their anguish and despair etched into the very fabric of the building. Trapped between worlds, they roam the halls, their anguish and despair etched into the very fabric of the building, each shadow, each whisper, a reminder of the lives that once filled these cells. Section 6. Terror Behind the Walls, Embracing the Haunted Legacy. Each year, as the veil between the living and the dead thins, Eastern State Penitentiary embraces its haunted legacy. Terror Behind the Walls, they call it. A Halloween event that draws thousands eager to come face to face with their fears. The prison transforms into a labyrinth of horror. Actors made up as ghouls and monsters stalk the cell blocks, their screams mingling with the whispers of real ghosts. It's an immersive experience that blurs the lines between entertainment and the truly terrifying. But even without the elaborate costumes and special effects, Eastern State remains a chilling destination. A place where the weight of history and the presence of the unknown are impossible to ignore. Section 7. Eastern State Penitentiary, where history and haunting collide. Eastern State Penitentiary is more than just an abandoned prison. It stands as a monumental relic of the past, a place where history and haunting seamlessly intertwine. It's a time capsule, a chilling reminder of a bygone era and the flawed attempts to reform criminals through isolation. The walls echo with the whispers of those who once lived here, their stories etched into the decaying structure. The stories of the inmates, both the famous and the forgotten, linger within its walls, their energy intertwined with the very fabric of the building. Each cell tells a tale of despair, hope, and the human spirit's resilience. But what about the ghosts? The legends of spectral figures and eerie sounds have captivated visitors for decades. Are they real, these tormented souls trapped within these walls? Or are they simply the product of overactive imaginations spurred on by the chilling atmosphere? Or are they merely figments of our imagination, fueled by the stories and the eerie atmosphere of this place? The line between reality and the supernatural blurs within these haunted halls. That, my friends, is for you to decide. The truth lies in your own experience and perception. Come to Eastern State Penitentiary, walk the halls, listen to the stories, feel the weight of history and the chill of the unknown, and decide for yourself if the ghosts are real. The answer awaits within these haunted walls.